Multidimensional education, MDED, has provided evaluation and education research services to nearly 100 school districts nationwide. This video is an introduction to one of our assessment tools called the Multidimensional Needs Assessment. The MDNA, as we refer to it, provides a comprehensive picture of your school's systemic efforts. This is accomplished by collecting and connecting evidence based on 8 dimensions of education historically associated with highly effective schools. The MDNA report and the support materials we provide can empower your educators with a more holistic and common sense-based approach to helping schools with strategic action planning. MDED's federally funded research discovered an efficient and effective approach to assessing the multiple dimensions historically predictive of academic success. Through random trials of more than 35,000 participants nationwide, we developed an assessment tool to measure 7 dimensions of education that explain why students are performing or not performing at the level so many educators are wanting to achieve. These 7 dimensions provide a system of gears, so to speak, to assess, think about, and utilize as we figure out how to get our school's motors running more smoothly. Most recently, in our work on the Awaken the Learner process, a new program created by Daryl Scott, founder of Rachel's Challenge, and Dr. Robert Marzano, we added an 8th dimension that delves further into assessing student behavior related to bullying and alcohol and tobacco and other drug use. Imagine having reliable and valid data on these 8 dimensions for each school that leadership teams and educators can use to measure the level of community engagement and parent involvement, as well as the creativity and level of support their curriculum is being delivered with. Imagine as educators having a comprehensive report that is easy to understand to help you keep a pulse on those developmental perspectives, such as the character and social-emotional development of kids and the attitude students hold for education. How valuable would it be to know the quality of relationships that exist between students, faculty, and administrators? Add to this needs assessment a measure of school climate and knowing to what extent bullying and drug use are impacting your efforts. Imagine. Take a quick look at a page from an MDNA report we recently completed. In this school, 28.5% reported being bullied 2 to 6 plus times in the last year. In a school of 1,000 students, that equates to 285 students being bullied quite often. 75% reported witnessing such bullying, and 59% have heard or heard of potential threats of violence to take place in the schools. Suddenly, when we start to tie all these data points together, level of trust between educators and students, educational attitudes, school climate, bullying, a multidimensional picture begins to explain why instruction and the new curriculum are not working. How can we expect kids to learn when a safe learning environment doesn't exist? How can we fix it if we don't know the details to what needs fixed? When you look at the charts provided in the MDNA for this school, we begin to see a much clearer picture of the puzzle this school faces. And what we have witnessed time and time again is that when schools embrace the findings and use the MDNA data to inform their strategic action plans to improve these 8 dimensions, slowly academic challenges are reduced and academic achievement starts to rise. What we have seen time and time again is how the MDNA data is often the antidote for helping frustrated educators turn contentious faculty meetings into courageous and constructive conversations. Now we know many schools already use a plethora of surveys to measure many of these variables or dimensions. But what if all of these dimensions were measured with one survey in less than one class period? Imagine having a report for educators to use at the school level to see with their own eyes evidence that documents their strengths and challenges on these 8 predictive dimensions. This is what the MDNA does for you. The report you get for each school with the MDNA provides a holistic and systemic approach to giving your educators reliable and valid data and connecting the information they need to determine what might be holding the school back from greater improvement. And while some providers might get you the results of their surveys focused on one dimension or one of these variables back within several months, which are not often developed to be shared with educators and leaders at the individual school level, Imagine if you could call today, take the MDNA conveniently online within a few weeks, and then within a week or two, after completing the assessment, receive the individual school reports you need to be truly more evidence-driven. Imagine being able to study the DNA of your school, the fundamental building blocks, if you will, to better understand your past efforts and how to use such information for future success. This is what we do at MDEd. This is why each dimension we assess utilizes an assortment of validated scales to measure multiple variables related to the dimension. We give you the evidence your educators need, as well as the planning rubrics and templates to put it to work immediately in schools. We have free training videos on YouTube. We have a book that further explains the process. We give you the evidence your educators need to inform and populate the data requirements of strategic action planning. We want to give you the most valuable and comprehensive data possible in real time so you can use it to guide your efforts, inform that intuition, and most of all, document your progress, your success. We want to help you have every piece of the puzzle you need to help your educators see the whole picture. When you get a chance, please visit our website, email us to set up a time to talk, or just give us a call to learn more about putting the MDNA to work in your schools. Thank you for your time today and your consideration.